Hello everybody and welcome back to another exciting edition of Boyographic, the show in which I, Matt the Gameboy, take you through the highs and lows of the Gameboy library, one cart at a time. This week we'll be continuing your license with another licensed title. It's Jurassic Park. So, I've got a confession to make. I know I like the movie Jurassic Park, but I've actually got no idea why. I mean, I can think of a whole host of reasons why I should be in favour of the movie. I mean, it's Spielberg for one. It's got great actors in it, fantastic music, and a boatload of animatronic dinosaurs. Yeah, despite what I know about it, I actually can't remember a thing about the movie other than a man being eaten by a T-Rex while he sat on the toilet. I should go back and watch it, but I'm actually a little scared to do so, because I also remember really liking Ocean's port of their NES Jurassic Park title to the Nintendo Game Boy, and oh boy, was that memory wrong. The game is naturally very loosely based on the events of the movie, and sees you playing as Dr. Alan Grant in a quest to escape the island. Despite what you'd expect, the game isn't a shameless run-and-gun action platformer, but much like HAL's Ghostbusters 2 title, is actually a top-down shooter, which, as a lover of the genre, is an angle I wish more developers had taken with their licensed titles. Naturally, it also means gameplay generally consists of you running around a large maze, killing dinosaurs and trying to survive. But there must be more to it than that, I hear you cry. Well, yes and no. At the beginning of each of the game's 6 stages, you'll get a brief breakdown of what each level has in store for Dr. Grant. Whether it's saving characters from the movie or blowing up raptor nests, the game's levels generally all start the same way. Look at how many eggs you need to destroy, locate them, and either run over them or shoot them, then collect a keycard and find the door it fits. All the while blasting dinosaurs in self-defense. From here, you'll generally have to repeat the same collect the eggs, kill the dinosaur gameplay in an indoor environment, before you get to tackle the challenge mentioned in the text briefing at the beginning of the level, with somewhat mixed results. The game plays its 2 strongest hands first, with a Triceratops stampede and a chase sequence with a T-Rex, both of which suffer because of the game's poor child AI. In the Triceratops stampede, Tim needs to be guided through the trampling Triceratopses without hitting the dinosaurs. But as Tim can only stand behind Grant when you're facing upwards, it can become increasingly tough not to take any damage. And as you might expect, a trampling Triceratops hits pretty damned hard. The T-Rex chase sequence is actually even more frustrating than this, as if the level before it has worn you down on health and ammo, you won't actually be able to beat it. As while running away from the T-Rex, Lex will stop and you need to shoot the T-Rex in order to get it to back off. Problem is, if you choose to continue at this stage of the game, you will spawn with no ammo and need to restart the entire game. Yay! The other end level sections get even worse, such as the joys of strict time limits and the Raptor Cave bombs, but the absolute worst section in this game is the end of level 3, where you need to activate computers in a set sequence with no clear indication as to what the order is for the player. Seriously, you run around a big maze with infinitely spawning dinosaurs, clicking on computers and hoping for the best. It's maddening! But that does seem to be the theme of Jurassic Park. Instead of being upfront with the player, Ocean decided to offer no help to the gamer whatsoever during the course of this title. Sure, I don't need anything more than an indicator of how many eggs there are in a larger maze, but hiding every monster spawn behind a tree to take a cheap swipe off the player's health is a low blow, especially when there are no clear health pickups in the game, only mystery boxes. A question mark shaped box that could give you health and extra life, but will 9 times out of 10 just explode and take life off of you. Thanks, Ocean! Combine this fact with the game's apparent love of environmental hazards, low life count, and its measly 5 continues, and it's easy to think that you're probably going to have to play the game a few times to beat it. As, well, there's no password system to continue where you left off. But despite these frustrations, there's a lot of good going on in Jurassic Park. Ocean does try and add some variety to the level design to break up the monotony, such as a raft and dock section, not to mention the game not looking that bad graphically. Of course, as with most Ocean titles, the main draw of this game is its incredible score. Each level features a distinct bassy ocean house style to its chiptunes, and for whatever reason, even features a cover of Martin Galway's excellent comic bakery loader tune from the Commodore 64. Either way, good job John Dunn. If not for your score, I think I'd have given up at level 3. It must be said that the combat in Jurassic Park is surprisingly well balanced. The dinosaurs generally die with a few shots, and don't really deal silly damage to the player. Grant can find various ammo types dotted around the game that will allow him to do his job quicker, and in the later stages, even a bolo round that can kill multiple enemies. Each dead dino also drops a weak, round-tipped bullet on their death, meaning you will never really run short of ammo. Surprisingly, the reward for beating the game is actually an interactive credit sequence where you can walk around and view the names of the folks behind the game on large signs. Unfortunately, they're not destructible, so you can't use them to reap revenge for that bloody computer puzzle. Interestingly enough, also the info section on the title screen actually gives you a breakdown of the island and the dinosaurs, which for Jurassic Park fans is actually kinda cool. For all its faults, Jurassic Park is not the worst title on the Game Boy, and for an ocean game on an 8-bit handheld is actually somewhat passable. A lot of the more infuriating factors in the game, such as the computer sequence, can be beaten with trial and error, and you'll eventually get to grips with the combat enough not to need health packs. This isn't excusing blatant flaws in the game design, it's just putting them in perspective. It's not Robocop's endless wave of one-shot kill enemies at the end, but environmental hazards and time wasting that cheapen the Jurassic Park experience. Unfair and infuriating, yes, but for me at least, aren't the deal breakers of the same calibre. It's a common game because of the movie's insane popularity, so pick it up if you're curious. While the gameplay can be infuriating, it's never monotonous. The graphics aren't Trip World, but they're not bad either, and the music, well, that speaks for itself. Go into it knowing it's not amazing, and maybe Jurassic Park will surprise you, but if you're looking for a hidden gem here, you'll be sorely disappointed. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Boyographic, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. If you have and want to check out more of our videos and are interested in your license, then why not subscribe and tell other people you think may be interested in the channel to do so as well. Hey, that's how it gets around. If you like these videos, you can also check out some more of our Boyographic videos where I look at the highs and lows in the Game Boy library one cart at a time, playing through things, so generally you don't have to. You can also check out some of our Boy Curious videos where I look at bootlegs and oddities for the system, as well as our All the Glory videos, where I play through a game, cutting out all of the deaths, leaving you with none of the faff, but all of the glory. Until next time, you can find me on Twitter at Gameboy and Facebook and Instagram at Gameboy as well. Until next week, Game Boys and Girls, where I'll be back with another licensed title. Game on.